topic for today is all about social class, a framework for understanding society. Social class is a concept used to categorize individuals or groups based on economic, cultural, and social factors. It helps explain disparities in wealth, opportunities, and lifestyles within societies. While its nuances vary across cultures and time periods, the central idea remains the organization of people based on certain markers. In modern societies, social class remains relevant, though its definitions and boundaries have evolved. For example, in some contexts, class divisions are seen as fluid, influenced by globalization and cultural shifts. However, disparities in income, education, and access to resources continue to highlight the impact of social class on individuals' life chances. In the Philippines, for example, social classes are often categorized into low income, middle income, and high income groups. The government uses metrics like per capita income to determine the classifications. For instance, families earning below the poverty threshold, 12,000 monthly for a family of 5, are considered poor. These classes often reveal inequalities in power, influence, and access to resources. Historically, the concept of social class became prominent during the 19th century, especially with the rise of industry societies. There are types of social class. Social class is often divided into broad categories such as upper class, middle class, and lower class. In upper class, the wealthiest members of society, often including business owners, investors, and influential leaders. In middle class, professionals, skilled workers, and people with stable incomes typically enjoying moderate financial security. Third one is lower class. Those with limited access to resources, often facing economic hardships and society barriers. Discussions about social class often highlight issues of inequality and advocate for ways to bridge gaps between classes, promoting fairness and equity.
Hey everyone, I'm Christian Adonis from BSTM 3D, and I'm here to discuss about the social mobility. So quick question, have you ever wondered why some people seem to have an easier time moving up in life, while others get stuck no matter how hard they try? That's what we're talking about today. What is social mobility? Social mobility is basically how people move up or down in society, usually in terms of income, job status, or education. So if you grow up in a low-income family and end up becoming a doctor, that's upward social mobility, you've moved up the ladder. But if someone loses a great job and struggles to recover, that's downward mobility, not as fun, but is still part of the picture. Why it matters? So why should you care? Because social mobility tells us a lot about how fair or unfair a society is. If people work hard but still can't improve their situation because of where they were born, their skin color, or their last name, then the game's rigged, and that's a problem. High social mobility means everyone has a shot, not just the people who were born lucky. What affects it? Now, what actually affects social mobility? A bunch of stuff. First is education, not just going to school, but quality education. Second is access to jobs, especially ones that pay fair wages. Third is healthcare, housing, even who you know, all of it matters. And racism, classism, and discrimination. Those are real barriers too. Here's the deal. Social mobility isn't just about money. It's about opportunities and it's about asking, do I have the same chance to succeed as the next person? And if the answer is no, then we've got work to do. But the cool thing, we can make a difference by staying informed, speaking up, and pushing for fairness wherever we can. Alright, that's it for today. If this got you thinking, drop a comment, hit the like button, and share this someone who needs to hear it. Until the next time, stay curious, keep growing, and never stop climbing. Thank you.
Sociologists use the term social stratification to describe the system of social study. Social stratification is a system in which human beings are separated into various groups, with one group enjoying more some privileges and status than another. Usually, social stratification refers on how societies categorize people based on factors such as wealth, income, gender, ethnicity, race, language, education, or in some other similar criteria. One key determinant of social standing is the social standing of our parents. Parents tend to pass their social position on their children. People inherit not only social standing but also the cultural norms that accompany a certain lifestyle. They share this with a network of friends and family members. Social standing becomes a comfort zone, a familiar lifestyle, and an identity. However, sociologists recognize that social stratification is a society-wide system that makes inequalities apparent. While there are always inequalities between individuals, sociologists are interested in larger social patterns. Stratification is not about individual inequalities, but about systematic inequalities based on group membership, classes, and the like. No individual, rich or poor, can be blamed for social inequalities. Social stratification is divided into two categories. These systems can be categorized as either open or closed depending on the degree of social mobility they allow. In an open stratification system, social mobility is relatively high. Individuals can move up or down the social hierarchy based on their abilities, efforts, and achievements, allowing movement and interaction between layers and classes. This means that a person's birth status doesn't solely determine their future social position. You can achieve a change in status through your hard work, talent, through your choices, and through the mistakes that you make. Open systems are characterized by these four categories: high social mobility, meritocracy, fluid class boundaries, and emphasis on achievement. High social mobility are the individuals who can change their social class throughout their lives. Meritocracy is the success of an individual based on their effort and ability rather than solely on their birthright. High levels of effort can lead to high social position and vice versa. Fluid class boundaries are the fewer rigid distinctions between social classes. Emphasis on achievement is about individual who can earn his social status through his accomplishments. Enclosed stratification systems offer limited or no social mobility. An individual's social position is largely determined at birth and remains fixed throughout their life. In this system, it always causes inequality and discrimination, as individuals born into lower social strata have little more chance of improving their lives. Closed systems are characterized by these four categories: low social mobility, ascribed status, rigid class boundaries, and limited opportunities for advancement. Low social mobility are individuals who are largely confined to the social class into which they are born. They experience difficulty to move up or down in the socioeconomic ladder, often remaining in the same social class as their parents or ancestors. This means that opportunities for improvement are limited. Ascribed status is a social position determined by birth, family background, or other inherited traits. Ascribed statuses are fixed and can influence how individuals are treated and how they are perceived by society. They are assigned by society, not by the individual's own efforts or choices. Rigid class boundaries refer to the societal structures that make it difficult for individuals to move between social classes due to factors like limited opportunities, discrimination, and other access to resources that can cause inequalities. Limited opportunities for advancement, individuals have little control over the social standing that limits them to have equal access to resources and opportunities. There are four types of stratification: slavery, caste, estate, and class. Slavery is individuals who are owned by others. Slavery is one of the lowest levels in any class and often most rigid type of social stratification. This involves people being treated as actual property and are often based on race or ethnicity. The owner of a slave exploits a slave's labor for economic gain because they do not possess power and wealth of their own. Slavery still exists in many parts of the world.
The other type of stratification is caste systems. Caste systems are closed stratification systems in which people can do little or nothing to change their social standing. A caste system is one in which people are born into their social standing and will remain in it their whole lives. People are assigned occupations regardless of their talents, interests, or potential. There are no opportunities to improve a person's social standing. In caste systems, people are expected to work in an occupation and go enter into a marriage based on their caste. Estate systems. This system is a historical form of social stratification that is characterized by hierarchical structure dividing society into distinct classes with defined rights and obligations. A state system is primarily determined by birth and inherited status. It has three main estates: the nobility, which is an elite group that held inherited wealth and land ownership; clergy, consisting of religious officials holding substantial influence and enjoying economic security and social status; and last, commoners, who engage in agricultural labor and other manual work. They have limited rigid political power and minimal social mobility. The last type of stratification is class system. Class systems, unlike caste systems, are open. It is based on both social actors and individual achievement. It consists of sets of people who have similar status. People in the class system can move to a different level of education or employment status than their parents. Those in class systems can socialize with and marry members of other classes. It's crucial to acknowledge that while social stratification has some perceived benefits, these are often outweighed by the negative consequences. Suppose that benefits are viewed as justification for inequality rather than genuine advantages for society as a whole. Let's discuss the benefits and consequences of social stratification in the family, local community, and society. The benefits of social stratification in families is it can create a sense of order and stability, potentially leading to clearer roles and responsibilities, while the consequences are social stratification can lead to family tension, conflict, and inequality in resource allocation. Children from disadvantaged backgrounds may lack opportunities that will affect their future prospects. The benefits of local community and social stratification is it can incentivize competition and ambition. It can also lead to the development of socialized roles and skills within the community. While the consequences are it can create divisions and conflict, leading to disparities in access to resources and limits social mobility. Society can benefit in social stratification by motivating individuals to work harder and achieve higher positions, contributing to the societal process. However, the consequences of this is it can create divisions, conflict, and limit social mobility, leading to unequal access in education, health, and overall well-being. In workplace settings, social stratification can lead to a clear hierarchy, facilitating efficient management and productivity. But aside from that, social stratification can cause discrimination, inequality in pay and opportunities, and limit social mobility. It can lead to exploitation, decreased productivity, and increased conflict among employees. Addressing social stratification is an ongoing process requiring a comprehensive approach and effort from the governments, organizations, and individuals. Promoting equal opportunities that will ensure fair access to education, healthcare, and employment, regardless of social background, can be a huge help, especially to those less fortunate ones. Implementing tax systems that redistribute wealth from the wealthy to the less fortunate can be a small step to improve their lives, providing support for the poor and vulnerable by giving them an opportunity to have work and have affordable housing. creating pathways for individuals to move up the social ladder, allowing them to have scholarships and job training programs, enforcing law against discrimination based on gender, class, race, language, etc. And lastly, invest and provide quality education to all, regardless of socioeconomic status. It is a matter of social justice and has a little changes to create more equitable and just society. This is where it ends our discussion for today's video. We hope that you learned something from our group. Thank you for watching and see you until our next vlog. Bye!